Night Football. You know what? There's still time for you to get one of these awesome footballs. I'm gonna put it right here. It's like the Heisman Trophy. If you want one of these, you can have one. All you have to do is go and pledge $10 to my Patreon. Don't do it for the football, really. It's not worth that much. Do it because you like this show, and as a gift, you get the football. It's a fun little thing. A lot of you guys... that's... An unsettling amount of you have been very concerned with the shakiness of my table. So, after 3 years of doing this, I went down to Lowe's and I got a new table. That's why everything looks different. I decided to use this microphone because I can attach it to this table. I was gonna stand, but then I realized when I stand, my torso is too long. And if I don't like how it turns out, then we'll just have an episode where everything looks terrible, and then next time we'll do it differently. So I hope that it looks great. Let's get into the review. All right, so a lot of you, many of my faithful viewers out there, have told me that this is the Christian football movie that we've all been looking for. And not only have my many amazing fans told me this, but also it's ranked #1 out of all the sports movies on ChristianCinema.com. Plus, it's also on Netflix. I mean, it's not... It doesn't even give me a ranking on Netflix, but still, it's on there, and that's something. The movie, of course, is called 23 Blast. Now, when I first heard about this movie, I knew almost nothing about it. It came out back in 2013, long before I was reviewing Christian movies on the internet. I should have been reviewing movies back then. The best time to start is today, because each day you wait, that's another day that you lose. But we're doing it now, and that's what's important. Carpe diem. And speaking of carp, I did a little fishing. And did some research about this movie and found out that, well, it is in fact a true story. I mean, there's some embellishments here and there, but we'll find out about that. It's directed by Dylan Baker, who, for most people, I think their response when they see him is, oh, right, yeah, that guy. I've seen him and stuff. I think I know him best as Kirk Connors in the Spider-Man movies, the one who never ended up turning into the Lizard, so that was fun. It also has the girl from Spy Kids, so it's not really much else to say. All I want to know is if this is actually the greatest Christian football movie of all time, and there's really no way for me to know that until I actually get into the review, so guess what? That's what we're gonna do. Welcome to my movie night review of 23 Blast. Okay, K-Love and Air One. Yeah, I think all the good movies are produced by radio networks. Touchdown Productions. That sounds like a pretty good company right there. Totally not designed solely for the making of this particular movie or anything. My ears and my eyes! I'm blind and deaf! All right, based on a true story. They always are. So we kick off the movie with these kids having football practice. You know, I don't really care what this guy has to say unless he's desperately and aggressively searching for unobtainium. So the coach is talking to this kid, and I guess this is supposed to be a joke.
Take a look at your buddies down the bench. You see any difference between you and them? Nothing.
Like it's supposed to sound like he's talking about his skin color? Maybe not. That's what I thought, and maybe that's because I'm a total racist.
That makes you a racist.
But of course, he's not talking about his race.
You tell Freddie what's wrong?
Your shoulder pads. They go under your shirt.
He's talking about his shoulder pads.
Gonna be a long season.
You thought that it was different than that. I think that's the movie's subtle way of letting you know nothing about this is gonna be like Remember the Titans, including the quality. All right, the coach of the high school football team, Coach Cameo, comes walking up, played by, of course, the late Fred Thompson, who's best known for his roles in things like Hunt for Red October, Die Hard 2, Law and Order, and his magnum opus and final role, God's Not Dead 2. I mean, this guy's pretty accomplished. He also ran for president once, though some might say he didn't run as much as he walked. Enough about the actor, let's get into the movie. He's accompanied by this Barney Fife type character.
Weren't you gonna get me a beverage or something?
Oh yeah, I'll get your soda. Did you say diet?
No.
No, of course not. Stupid of me. Diet. Stupid. I'll be right back.
Man, I hope he's not in the movie much after this.
Well, he's the new athletic director now.
You kidding?
Does that mean he's gonna be in this movie a lot more? Great. He's in the movie a lot after this. So the real reason Fred Thompson is here is because he wants to let the elementary school teacher know that he'll be retiring.
They aim to replace me.
What? And that he wants the elementary school coach to take his place.
Do you want to coach Pee Wee League the rest of your life?
Meanwhile, on the field, a budding friendship?
I'm Travis.
I'm Jerry.
Can you throw?
Can you catch?
And these are the stars of our film.
Travis, that's too fast.
subtle.
Those two boys were born to play football.
Well, if nothing else, this movie knows what it is.
What's this play called?
Blast!
Why do we call it that?
Because that's the name of the movie! So these boys end up being best football friends all the way up to high school, and apparently far beyond since these guys are clearly in their 30s. Also, our favorite athletic director is still in that position, and he really has it out for Jerry.
If I find contraband, Mr. Baker, I will have you expelled.
No, sir. This is an article about my friend here. Nothing about the handsome quarterback, Jerry Baker.
Because you're not worth writing about.
Ha!
I suggest you find new friends. You don't want to end up in prison.
All right, let's cut over to the football field where Travis is driving up, blaring his music because he's a cool guy. Everything's going great for me.
Guess who?
Foreshadowing? Looks like Travis is dating one of the cheerleaders. Of course.
Make sure you score a touchdown for me now.
Okay, I'll try.
But seriously, our relationship is dependent on you being good at football.
All right, let's go meet Travis's mom who's working the concession stand.
I don't think your music is supposed to arrive before your car.
You need to be driving at the speed of sound, young man. You know, I think this is great casting for the mom, in all seriousness, because she just feels like a mom.
Oh, you're my favorite son.
Mom, your only son.
That must be why you're my favorite.
Now, here in the first act, Travis might be dating that cheerleader, but we all know he's probably gonna end up with this girl.
Thanks, Ashley.
Hey, don't forget my touchdown.
Don't forget my touchdown.
Ah, the classic movie cliche of a girl being drop dead gorgeous, but the football player, he's never seen her like that because she's wearing jeans. All right, well, let's take a little peek into the boys' locker room, shall we?
He hasn't missed a single game, and he's not gonna miss one now because he's got a runny nose.
Ah, yes, and the classic kid whose dad wants him to win a little too badly.
My boy has got to play.
I'm ready to play. Are we ready?
Despite my nitpicking, this actually feels like a fairly good movie until we get this obvious Christian song. Took me out of it a little bit.
How'd he score?
He ran it in.
No, I think it was a pass. Larry's got it on tape.
Not so sure he does.
Oh, Larry. That guy.
Where's the party tonight? Quit messing around. Call the play.
So we learned that our quarterback friend here, he just can't remember the plays. That's his quirk. So he makes it up as he goes.
You guys do whatever. You get in the end zone.
I'm sure that'll come back to us eventually. But for right now, it seems to be working for him because touchdown! Well, things seem to be going hunky-dory for our friends Travis and Jerry.
Round, baby.
Your friend, Jerry.
But you know that couldn't last because something goes wrong.
Dad?
Duh? So Travis is rushed to the hospital and he has to go into immediate surgery.
What's happening?
Travis's infection is not responding to medication. His face is swelling and his temperature has risen to 106.
No! I mean, it's not house, that's for sure.
Oh, dear Lord. You're gonna have to take that cross off.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, good. Now we know that he's a Christian. Boy, I'm sure glad this isn't a pure flick. The whole movie would have been about them suing the hospital for this persecution.
I'll see you soon.
And I'll definitely see you soon with my 2 working eyes. Ugh. All right, so this is really sad. He wakes up and it turns out he's blind, which means he can't play football. Or can he? What do you think is gonna happen? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll be right back right after this commercial to read your comments. Stick around. All right, we're back. Let's read those comments. Wow, Kevin, a commercial played right as you said, let's go to commercial. That's amazing. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty amazing. This guy should shut up and stop interrupting. I'm trying to watch the movie. Fair enough. That makes a lot of sense. Why do you hate God? Because Christian movies are my God. What a bold statement. All right, well, that's enough of my fake comment reading. Be sure to join me next time. Let's get right back into the review. I'll be honest here. This actually is really a sad moment. It's a touching. It made me feel, is what I'm trying to say here. I got a little sad. And if a movie can make me feel, then That's pretty good. That's better than some movies I've seen recently. I won't mention any names until the embargo's up, if you know what I mean. I mean, yeah, it's a little sappy. And is this a cliche at this point? There's two other movies that I remember. One was called Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken and Ice Castles. Those are two movies that my mom made me watch when I was a kid, and it had this same kind of storyline. But then again, this is something that really happened. I saw the Dateline episode about it, so I know this is a true story. So I guess it's not a cliche if it's real, right? Like other movies that I've seen recently, which I know are 100% accurate, and that the story isn't made up at all or anything.
Travis.
You're blind, son.
I'm sorry, you're as blind as our director of photography who couldn't even see that this shot was blown out.
You lost your eyesight.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I got that when you said I was blind. You can't see out of your face holes.
Okay.
Anyway, as you would imagine, the team is hit by this pretty hard. In fact, the family is hit by it. Everybody's hit really hard by this whole situation. It's really sad.
I don't know why things like this happen to good people.
Why can't they happen to bad people? Like you, or even you.
So we're gonna dedicate this game to Travis.
There's some confusion on
So without him, the team, they're not doing well.
Come on, man.
Now, I know this is a cliche. One guy is sick or got hurt or was in a car accident and he can't play. So they just can't do it without him, but somehow maybe they'll find the motivation. It was even in that last movie that I watched, and that barely was a football movie. Boom, boom, be doo. Balloon dip boo doom balloons. Travis's new greatest enemy, balloons. In all seriousness, like I get what's going on here. They're kind of trying to show that things that we do every day that we take for granted because we can see become struggles and difficulties and even dangers. So I joke, but I get what the movie's trying to do here. It's attempting to communicate that to the audience, and I don't think it does a bad job. This is a sad time. I just wish balloons would stop being some sort of cinematic scary thing because I don't think it's as universally scary as I guess apparently it is for filmmakers. Well, despite Travis not wanting visitors, that's not gonna keep Jerry away. No siree. So he comes to the hospital to visit.
Jerry, do you think maybe you could stay with Travis for a little while? I have an errand to run.
Sure.
Lucky he showed up then, huh? But you know, she should have known better not to put this rapscallion in charge. So he takes Travis on a fun little adventure.
Whoa. Babe on the left. Smile sexy.
Well, that's funny. That's cute.
Elevator, while you bring me down.
And they sing because you're not supposed to do that.
Down. Elevator.
They're a real wacky bunch, aren't they? I'm just having fun with you, movie, because you would expect a situation like this in a Christian movie to feel really cringy, but I genuinely chuckled a bit at this point. It's silly, but I can appreciate whenever a film is willing to lighten up a little bit, especially when it's about a sad trauma. This part right here, it feels genuine, and it's a great way to show kind of the bond that these two guys have. That, you know what, even after a tragedy like this, you can have some fun. You can get back to your life. So, yeah, I mean, I'm actually enjoying it so far. It's not too preachy. I'm not hating the movie. Let's see where it goes. Meanwhile, Travis's mom is talking to this mean lady.
You need to realize you no longer have a normal son.
Ha! I always find it interesting whenever they make such cartoony characters mean, rude people in movies that are true stories. Like this guy. Is this a real guy? Was he really so evil? How does he feel about this character being portrayed this way in this movie?
You have my support if you want to drop Baker from the team. Just the worst kind of bad egg.
But football is the only thing the boy has.
Your contract's up after next year, isn't it?
I don't know if that's a criticism. It's just really glaringly obvious. Even in Remember the Titans, they had characters who were really good and really bad. Like the movie Walk the Line. Johnny Cash's first wife seems really bad in that movie, but I'm sure she wasn't as evil as the movie made her out to be. Or maybe she was. I don't know. It's weird to me. That's all I'll say. All right, so back in the movie that we're watching, Travis is having a hard time adjusting to life as a blind person. He's not liking his mobility coach, and it seems like his mom is actually enabling him.
It's been almost 3 months and he's barely left his room.
Things really are starting to look pretty hopeless for Travis. That is until this lady comes by and she's gonna kick Travis's rear in gear.
Travis? Down the hallway. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
In accordance with the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act of 1990, the state of Kentucky will allow no disabled child to be deprived of a free public education.
You gotta love this, right? You love whenever somebody pushes their way into your home by spouting laws at you. I mean, she's probably right. Truth is, I'm pretty conflicted at this moment. I appreciate this tough love approach that this lady is taking. Some people, especially people who have had injuries or have disabilities, I don't think they should be coddled or enabled or whatever. They need help and they need motivation and sometimes they need a little tough love, I imagine. I don't know. You could correct me if I'm wrong. That being said, I don't know how I feel about the government being allowed to just burst into your door and just force you to do stuff. Hey, this is how you're supposed to raise your kids. Quite an ideological conundrum I have here.
Why should you allow your son to treat your home like a pigsty?
Also, if he's up to 16 now, which he clearly is, does this even apply to him? Let me know in the comments below. Let's go to commercial. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to you guys. Well, regardless of my political views, this is how it's portrayed. The lady breaks into the home and enters under consent of the king and starts whipping Travis into shape. Meanwhile, Jerry seems to be getting pretty sad. He's drinking some moonshine and, you know, having a real struggle. I'm just kidding. I imagine going blind is a real struggle. But Jerry is having a pretty deep struggle here too. Obviously, he's self-destructive, he needs a mentor, and I hate that we're not gonna explore that much. Meanwhile, Ashley, the butt-ugly girl, comes to Travis's house with some stuff. Why does she think that Travis would ever like her? I mean, she's wearing pants. Gross!
I would love for you to take this into Travis. I bet he'd like talking to you.
Now that he's blind, he might take an interest in you. But that mom should have known better than to send her in there with Travis by herself because things get pretty hot pretty fast.
Hey, Travis, you smell so bad. When was the last time you showered?
You smell worse than those Spy Kids 4D scratch and sniff cards.
Just get up, change your shirt.
I need you to give me the shirt. Thank you.
Come on, Travis, that's barely a shirt. I mean, a light breeze would cause that thing to wither away. So she also starts whipping him into shape, if you know what I mean.
Hips, it's on my lips. Bang, bang, ding, ding. Come on, right now, let's do your thing.
Ready?
Dad, Ashley's here. Sorry.
Then he poses for an Abercrombie ad. Good.
Guess who?
A training montage? That's right! I'll skip over most of this, but we spent the next 5 minutes going through a training montage where he learns how to do everyday life tasks. You see, because he was bad at shaving, now he's better. It's amazing what a montage can do.
This is your stop.
I'm guessing that this won't be the last montage of this movie. Now he knows how to do everyday tasks, but if you want me to feel inspired, he's gonna have to learn how to do a little more than that. Football is what I'm talking about. All right, well, it is Travis's first day back at school. Let's see how he gets along. It's like he doesn't even see me.
Good morning, Travis.
I guess this lady thinks he's deaf. That's pretty funny.
Welcome back.
Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer.
Even though he won't be able to see it. Well, Travis's misfortune may have destroyed his ability to play football, but it didn't destroy his love for it. So he's out here with Ashley checking out practice, but they're just not doing that great.
I don't know that we're going to win a single game this year.
You should let me play.
Well, can you play corner? Because Mullins...
It is weird that girls don't play football. Right? I mean, it is 2017. Is that a thing like people are trying to push? I mean, since there's no difference between men and women at all except for cultural constructs or whatever. I don't know what the narrative is. I can't keep up. I don't know why I even brought it up.
Got to find a spark for the running game.
Well, without Travis on the team, they're not doing well. If only there was something they could do. Well, enter the coach's brilliant idea. I didn't see this coming a mile away at all. That's right, I was as blind as Travis when it comes to seeing this plot point. So what's gonna happen is Travis, the blind kid, is going to play football. Okay, shoot. If he can do it, I guess he can do it. That's fine. I mean, I'm not here to to shame anyone. But once again, I'm a little conflicted. This movie's really got me thinking. I'd actually love to hear how well the real guy did. Everybody says, oh, he was blind and he played football. But what I want to know is, he's blind, but does he play football well? If everybody's just in this fantasy world and they're just pretending like he can play, like, yeah, he's doing great, but he's really not good, then, well then, who's the real blind ones?
I'll expect you on my football field Monday afternoon.
What if I can't?
I'll see you Monday.
Well, this request from the coach is obviously something that Travis is not so sure about. Of course he wants to play football, it's his favorite thing, he loves it, but also, well, he's blind. So we go to church.
The Lord is my light and my salvation.
If you don't know this, I feel like this scene doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But after doing a little bit of research, I found out that this preacher is actually the real guy. He's Travis Freeman.
I'm Travis Freeman!
But outside of that, this scene doesn't make a whole lot of sense other than this is what's used to inspire him to go and play football, like to agree with the coach that this is something he should do. But I think this is a dream.
Who is that?
Who are you? I'm Travis Freeman!
You're what?
I'm gonna play football!
So Travis goes to give a whole new meaning to special teams. That was insensitive, I'm sorry everybody. I regretted it as soon as I said it, and then I kept it in because I thought it was funny when I was editing, but I realized, cut that out, editing Kevin. But not everybody is as supportive and encouraging and just godly when it comes to Travis's decision.
Blind. In the middle of all that mayhem, if something happened to him, I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
Like, they make this guy out to be so bad. He's not being that unreasonable, right? Having a blind guy run around during a full contact sport is potentially kind of dangerous to himself and to other people. Hey guys, this is potentially a bad idea and it could be a lawsuit magnet. Should we talk about this a little bit? I think you're all right for asking that. But no, this needs the strong arm of the government.
In accordance with the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act of 1990, the state of Kentucky is bound to offer an equal opportunity to participate in any school-sanctioned functions.
The government lady does what she does best, throws her political muscle around and threatens people with the violent force of the United States government.
I will alert your principal that your actions have put your school in direct conflict with the federal government and advise him to expect the National Guard to shut and padlock the school doors in the morning. If I were you, I'd clear my schedule for the next few months. You and your boss might be spending time in jail.
Jail?
Well, as you would imagine, these threats convince the athletic director to let Travis play. See, now I really feel bad. I think this guy's so angry because the rest of his family's already in jail. I mean, look, their mugshots are on his desk.
National Guard, padlocks. Maybe I exaggerated a bit.
Now, this doesn't make the movie bad, but it's just interesting how they paint this athletic director as the bad guy and this aggressive government employee who bends the truth to get her way as the good guy. Just saying. And of course, the mean dad also has a problem with this, just like the Mighty Ducks. So Travis gets out there for practice because he's a hero. Oh, come on, you can't expect him to be good yet. He hasn't even had his second training montage yet. Am I right?
Put that in the paper. I ought to take your head off.
That just cost you 20 laps.
Isn't that exactly what the other team is gonna do? Why are they trying to give him special treatment? Or are you gonna make the whole league walk on eggshells around this kid just so he can feel like he's really playing football?
You don't think he's serious about Travis playing, do you?
Travis better learn how to play center, or you can kiss that scholarship goodbye.
They keep making people who aren't that bad seem like they're bad, and people who are kind of bad seem like they're good. Guess it's a sign of the end times. Well, that night, Jerry and Ashley show up at Travis's house, and guess what? They know what it's gonna take to get Travis ready to play football. That's right, a montage. Crank that. Whichever goatee artist this happens to be. Thank you, Air One and K-Love, for providing the musical royalties loophole. All right, well, that's over with. Now it's time for Travis to show us his stuff.
Put your hat on, Freeman, now or never. You're in.
So the other team doesn't know he's blind? Is that what's going on? I mean, I guess that makes sense strategy-wise. You wouldn't want them to know or else they would take advantage of it. But, like, it's also a little dangerous. Plus, I'm pretty sure that's not how it really happened. If I remember the Dateline episode correctly, Travis actually went blind when he was 12 and then later played football. But I guess that doesn't make for as inspiring of a movie. They actually did the same thing in Remember the Titans with the car crash. That actually didn't happen during the season. So, sorry for ruining your favorite movies, everybody. It's what I do on my channel. All right, so now that they have their dream player, you might say their blind side, they start montaging their way to victory. Oh, geez, it's still going. Hold on. There we go. But not everything is going great for everybody. Poor Jerry is sinking into a depression that ends up in a drunken stupor? Is that the word? Which, again, the movie doesn't really explore as much as I think they could. He's essentially told to get over it.
You drinking? Are you trying to get kicked off the team?
Didn't you even watch Catching Faith? I mean, sure, you could come back and play in the playoff game, but still, this is bad.
It's so easy for you. Easy for me, I'm blind.
Yeah, but did that stop you? For 1 second. What am I missing, huh? Why?
This is what he told the director when he found out that Travis was gonna get to have his shirt off in the movie, and he wasn't.
Why?
I can't talk to you like this.
Hey, you wanna know why I drink? Because I like it.
And that's it. That's the extent of it. I don't know. And maybe they just don't want this to be that deep of a movie, but I'm kind of interested in knowing like what this guy who isn't that strong of a Christian is thinking and feeling. Not that I'm asking for more feelings. Come on. Let's get back to football. But like nobody could have possibly predicted Travis being blind starts to cause a few complications on the field.
Hey!
Whoa. Sorry.
Hey! Whoa.
This makes Travis sad. Hey, Dad. Am I adopted or something? I mean, I'm blind and even I can see that we don't look anything alike. Now we gotta wrap up this guy's story arc. Quickly, come on, quickly. There's no reason to delve into the personal life of somebody who's having a real spiritual struggle. This is a Christian movie.
Are you starting me just because you have to?
Don't you know me by now? Go on, get ready to play.
Well, it's that time of every sports movie for the final game. And as you would expect, things are down to the wire.
Give me a root beer and a sack of nuts.
You heard him, folks.
There's time for one last play.
So the coach gives them the play that they need to do.
We're gonna run twins, left 48, sweep.
But of course, told you this would come back. He always forgets the plays.
Let's run something else.
You're not screwing this up. Just run the damn play.
Hey, there's no damn way in hell Kyle can score on a sweep.
All right, check. We locked in our PG-13 rating with an awkward string of profanities.
Why are you doing this, man? Because I'm the quarterback. You're Travis Freeman.
I'm Travis Freeman.
Sweet.
So, he goes for an alternative play. And what play do you think that happens to be called?
23 blast on one. Ready?
Break.
Fasten your seatbelts, folks. That's number 63.
Travis is in the backfield.
Whoa.
What'd she say? What?
What the hell?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
And if you can believe it, with 7 seconds left on the clock.
How shall I fear?
Hi!
Touchdown! Yes! Yes!
At the top!
Wow, this guy's really photobombing big time, huh? There you have it, kids. The inspiring true story of 23 Blast. And what did I think, you might be asking? I will say it was fine. This isn't a criticism, but I wonder if this wasn't even supposed to be a Christian movie to begin with, and then whenever it didn't do well, they repackaged it and marketed it to Christians. I could be totally wrong because I know that the real family is pretty outspoken about their faith. The film was pretty good about not pushing a whole lot. Like, it didn't feel like a preachy movie. So I think, if anything, this is a good example of how a story can be told about somebody who is a Christian and still feel like an actual movie, and still have some Christian elements in it. Basically, Christians, they can tell good stories too, if you can believe it. So I thought the acting was fine. I really liked the connection between the two boys, especially that scene in the hospital. Like, I thought that was done pretty well. Like I said before, I do wish we would have dove a lot deeper into Jerry's struggle. You have one person who's broken physically and another person who's broken spiritually, and get to see kind of that dynamic play out throughout the movie. But the movie, it really was a little too bubbly for that kind of stuff. Also, according to Wikipedia, this movie had a $1 million budget, which obviously seems high because I've never had $1 million to do anything in my life. But if you consider the fact that Woodlawn had a $14 million budget, and Greater, though I've heard from different sources, it at least had a $5 million budget, the point is that this movie did a great job for the budget that it had. That said, a lot of the low budget really shines through. Some of the shots are a little too bright. Like that church scene felt like it was done on home video. But the real question is this the greatest Christian football movie of all time? Well, I hope not. Like, I hope that there's a better one out there. If I were gonna pick one that I've done so far, I would say my favorite would be Greater. My biggest problem is that the movie is super cliche. I know that it's a true story, and that true story is very inspiring, but this is very much something that I've seen before. It doesn't explore anything really that deep, it's predictable. I suppose it's serviceable as an inspiring film, but it's certainly not bringing anything new to the table, and unfortunately, all the movies that it's ripping off are better movies than this one. It's weird how conflicted I was on so many different things with this movie. Maybe it was just the mood that I was in at the time, but I actually had a conversation with a friend after seeing this movie because I was struggling with the difference of cliches and tropes versus elements of a genre and storytelling devices. Because honestly, I'd rather see a paint-by-numbers movie with good characters as opposed to what many of these Christian movies try to do and tell a convoluted story where they clearly have no understanding of basic story structure at all. I think a good story can be told and cliches can be used as a tool in order to tell that good story. This was watchable and enjoyable, but I wasn't surprised at all. In the end, it's a fine film. If you're looking for something to watch with the whole family, here's something to watch. There's something you could do. It might even be great for a Christian football movie, but you're not gonna remember it in T-1 day. Oh shoot, I am not that guy. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Kevin, holding Christian movies up to the same standard as other films. Good night. In case you didn't notice, I've been putting out a lot more videos lately. That is all 100% thanks to the awesome support of those people at patreon.com/SayGoodnightKev. Because of them, I'm able to continue to put together videos that hold Christian movies up to the same standard as other films, check out trailers, check out other YouTube videos, and make statements about the state of YouTube in general. You know, it's just a whole plethora of videos that I get to make, and it's all thanks to these people. Some of those people happen to be Brendan Neely, John Duffy at youtube.com/nextlevelstuff, Mitel's Vlog, which is a short film that's linked below by Pascal Schmidlin, the Religious Nut and Hellbound Sinner podcast, linked below, Jacob and Emily Rugrock, Amanda Stewart, and Tyler Minix. Those people, the other people listed, and many more support the show. I am so grateful for that. Thank you so much for all that you do. Be sure to go check out those links in the description, and I will talk to you all later. Good night.
I'm Travis Freeman.
You're what?